RoundTable. We are here sitting and chatting today on the topic of social media, all about the socials. And when I think of social media, like going back to childhood, like that Bebo to Facebook transition, I don't know if anyone remembers that.
Oh, yeah.
Like I remember doing my profile picture. I'd take about 50, 60 different angles on my little digital camera, upload it, like narrow it down, do the different filters, like post it, retag it so it reappeared on people's timelines. Like I was there, like that's what it looked like for me in teenage years, I think. But now it's so much bigger than like Facebook, isn't it? Like, are we all on social media, first of all? Yeah. What do people use?
Snapchat.
Really?
Does that count as social? I think that counts
as social media.
I despise that
I'm
thing.
obsessed with it.
I'm pretty sure I'm just too old
fan.
for Snapchat.
If a conversation goes there and you still want to talk to the person, you don't have to go, hey, so what are you doing? You just send them a picture of something random and it's like, you can post anything you want, right? Unless someone screenshots it, no one can actually make a comment that the whole world's gonna see.
Is that a good thing?
So if I post a picture on Instagram and someone like write something horrible underneath it, everyone's gonna see that unless I delete it. If I post something on my Snapchat story and someone comments on it and like says something negative, it just goes straight to me. No one else sees it except for me, unless they've screenshot.
Instagram does that.
Yeah, you're right. I got a message quite recently, actually, after sharing something quite, vulnerable about my mental health or issues like that. And somebody sort of messaged me saying, if you keep shitting on about your mental health and posting selfies, people will think you're a sociopath. All of this, I went on and on and on. And I remember getting it.
Is that publicly?
No, it came in a DM, but I remember getting it. And normally my approach with trolls is just block and delete and ignore. Like they're there for they get off on you being miserable. So if you don't give them any reaction. But this one was so bad that I thought, and it really, like, you wake up in the morning, that's the first thing you read. I was like, oh, like, why? Like, I'm a grown woman, why is this bothering me? But I just shared it on my feed, actually, and I never would have done it normally. And literally, as soon as I did that, everybody was like, well, this guy's an idiot, whatever, don't worry about that. And it just felt so small, whereas before it felt like, oh my God, it really kicked me. But once I put it out there, I was like, oh, you know what, if she gets her kicks from doing that, fine, but actually that really helped me sharing it too. So I think, trolling is just part of it.
Personally, I don't find it safe for young people.
Yeah, but I don't think on that, like, no actual social media is like safe for anyone. There's all like, I just feel like they're safer, but it's just like, you can't, like with social media, you can literally post whatever you want to post, right? They don't, like, for example, if you want to, like, you could post a nude in it on social media. They don't, like, monitor the picture you post, but they monitor, like, you can report it. But even to get something reported, enough people need to report it to get it taken down. And if you report something, it's just like, you can't see it. Like, it's not really an immediate response. I feel like I post a picture on Instagram because I feel like I look nice. And like, I feel like the world, and I like try hard with my outfits. So the world needs to appreciate it, but I don't need your comment, if that makes sense, do you know what I mean? Like, if you like it, like it. If you don't.
I want you to see me without making a comment.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So you want them to see it, but you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, because like, not everyone's gonna like the way you dress or whatever, but like, if I feel like I look nice, and I'm like, yeah, cool, I look nice, I took a nice picture, I'll post it, but I don't need you to tell me your opinion on it.
So why don't you take the picture and keep it in your photo album?
Because no one can see it.
Social media should just be, initially started off as well, it's just your account and you upload what you like. Now it's become more than that to a certain extent. People are using it as a platform. It's leveled the playing field when it comes to small brands being able to get in front of audiences that previously they wouldn't have been able to afford. People are making money out of it, because of their platform. I'm interested to know how many people are just using social media now just for fun. Like, are there people out there doing it?
Sam, because you're in music industry, aren't you? Like, is it a fun thing or is it like work? Like, how do you feel about social media?
I think the reason why we're all sat here in the first place is because human beings naturally have a need for validation by other human beings. Like, that's just the truth. So, which is why people have Facebook, which is why people have social media, so we can feel like community.
Is that what it is for you?
It is, yeah. I would say so, because what I do really involves a lot of people. So not that I'm seeking validation, although there is that natural feeling within me, but the fact that I'm able to connect with people, which is a natural human need, is the very, bedrock of social media, isn't it? Like,
is it? Yeah. Is it connection, would we say? Like, is this real, authentic connection, or is it us all walking around like this thinking we're connected?
I think it is real. I think there comes a point where you have to accept that it is here. Like it's not just it's part of our life now, and it's all right. It's not the same connection as sitting across the table from somebody.
Like intrinsically, there's nothing particularly bad about Snapchat or Instagram. I mean, if they just existed completely isolated in a vacuum, there'd be nothing really wrong with them, right? It's about how we use them, and so I don't think it always is a good way to connect. I think it would be wrong for us to say that in every single instance, social media is a good way for us to connect and form relationships, real relationships. But equally, like you said, it can be a really positive place for genuine connections to form.
Yeah, it shouldn't replace, it's not a case of it replacing real interactions and relationships, but it definitely has its place in our world. And, you know, we can sit here and bitch and moan about the downfalls of it. That's true, and they are there, but it also brings a lot of positive stuff to people's lives and businesses.
How about you, Rachel? Have you had a similar experience? How's it impacted you?
So I agree with Ruby as well. I think with everything, there's always good and bad. You know, you can take a knife could be bad if you stab someone with it, but it could equally also be good if you're trying to, I don't know,
cut a cake.
Cut a cake, whatever else you do with the knife, you know, cook. And so I agree. I think for me, social media has been really positive because I use it as a channel to be a voice for models. So I'm a commercial model, and for me, my own personal experience is there's a lot of judgment on models, I'm sure with every other professions and people, but with models, there's this level of stigma, and I use it as a voice to show people that we're humans. We're not perfect. And on set, people think we're perfect because we look a certain way. But I think we have to perfect our exterior because it's what the industry require. But on set, we're puppeteers.
Because I was going to say, I think as mature adults, especially entrepreneurs and founders, it's been a great blessing because for business and many different things, it's been great. But then I think when you look at it from hindsight and you look at it from, you know, young people that are 18 and under, and we look at the rate of suicide, look at the rate of actually mental health and depression, it's actually come because people have found validation in platforms like Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. You know, obviously from a business perspective, yeah, it's great. But then, as I said, at the same time, I wouldn't say we should use it as a place of validation because it's killing people. It's killing people. And as I said, with these social media platforms, we only post the best bits. You would see couples, you would see couples together for 6 to 12 months. All of a sudden they broke up, and you're thinking, but what happened? What happened is what they showed you was fake.
The problem having with social media is, in my opinion, the lack of realness, and it's what's affecting our younger generation. When you're looking at some of the pictures that some of these girls are putting up, I'm just like, sweet Jesus, you don't even look like that. Like, how is that even okay? And then you're having young people who are looking at this, and this is what they're aspiring to look like. And instead, you're having these girls who look like Kim Kardashian, and then they want to be promoting flat tummy tea and them sort of things. And so this is why I'm like, social media is great because it's great for businesses and brands and entrepreneurs when it's used in the right way. But then we have right now, it's just been taken and flipped so negatively, and it's affecting our younger generation.
So I went to go post something on my Finsta. And I posted it on my main account, but I didn't. It's a normal. Okay, I'm making it sound like it's a normal Instagram account, but it's just on private. I know what you can try to follow me, but I'm not gonna let you follow me. Like, it's just on private, and only my friends know about it. Like, if you know me, anyway. So I'd go in to post something on my fake account. I posted on my main account, but I didn't realize, and it was just like a video of me and my cousin, but it's just like, no one needs to see that, and no one needs to know that this is what we do. Like, it was just really, really embarrassing.
How about you, Precious? Any worst moments?
You know what's coming up.
Like it's something that I haven't really been vocal about because I kind of just keep myself to myself, to be honest with you, most times. But like I had a really bad experience about 5 years ago. And it was just a bad breakup. It was a really bad breakup, and I was very well known on Instagram, on all social media platforms. There were so many people who admired what I was doing at the time with the person that I was with. Thank God, obviously, I've got married now. Love my wife, Dorothy.
Come on.
It was really bad. Like, obviously I talked to so many different people that were on social media at the time. I pretty much took them in as family because that's how I am. Like, if I wear my heart on my sleeve, and if I'm open, I would let everyone in if you know, whatever I said was very genuine. I didn't, you know, wasn't fake online, anything like that. And the relationship went really sour, and we broke up for our own reasons. But the whole of Instagram at the time turned on me.
If you could go back, would you still be as vulnerable and open on social media,
No.
or are you now?
No, I think now I have my limits, so I'm not.
Okay.
You know, obviously I know it. You know, back then I thought, oh wow, I've got 4,000 or 5,000 friends online. Wow, I'm bubbly. But I think now, obviously, regardless of how many followers I might have, because obviously me and my wife are in digital marketing, so we need to use that, you know, them platforms to showcase what we do or to talk about our beautiful marriage, to be honest with you, at times.
There's something quite meditative I found in being open online about things I wouldn't normally be open about. So I'm in my first year at university. Well, I've just finished my first year at university. No longer. And in my very first kind of essay that I did, I didn't do very well. And I shared a live reaction of me opening the email where I got the result. And I was incredibly vulnerable in that moment. You know, I started crying. I was like, oh, you know, you feel embarrassed because you're crying in front of people, but you're thinking, no, I'm going to share this because I think it's important for people to know.
You know that those people are following you because they really feel that connection with you. Yeah. But if you're a different person on social media, then they're following that version of you. They're not interested in you. They don't care if, you know, you've got a headache or there's actually something wrong with you. They just want to see that part of you. So the moment you stop being that person and you don't then have that love as you should do in real life, then you start to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm really disconnected from the world.
It is a physical barrier. You know, we've all been at dinner parties or parties or bars where we're on our phones.
Like, you know what's the best thing is that when you go out, yeah, and I was out not the other night, but whenever, and these girls must have been out for like one of their birthdays, right? And like she must have been like to the guy, right, just hold my phone, everyone ready? And they all got the shot. Woo! Flash went off.
Wow. Do you know what?
And watching, like, of it, like, you know it's like that because you make the videos as well. But like, as soon as when I like watching it from the out, I was just like, what the hell is happening? Like, they just like instantly just turned off. Like, no one even said anything to each other afterwards. It was just the shot glass got down, the camera got taken, the caption got posted it.
Is this life then? Like, is this how we're connecting through this fake way? Is it this forever? Like, do you think things will change?
It's gonna get worse. And it's awful.
I get told off by my wife. I'll be honest, because in the mornings when we wake up, and like, if I'm on my phone, my wife will be like, "Are you in this stuff?" She's like, "No, I'm reading the Bible." And then she'll just kind of go back to sleep. And I'll be like, I will close that phone, honestly. But yeah, exactly. You better be in that Bible.
I mean, if you even look at just simple things like our superstores now, they no longer have normal cashiers.
I wish I was born in like the 80s, like 70s in terms of technology-wise, because I feel like there was so much more interaction then. Like people, you would, like the way I see it, like obviously sometimes you kind of watch the films and you see it, and they're like, they say.
I'm feeling really old right now.
In the mornings they say to their neighbours like, "Good morning." They're on the train, they interact, and I'm sure like most of our parents and stuff like that met up because they would go to work and they would actually have conversations.
I think we're moving towards a generation where communication is, they're born with communication, just because we don't communicate the same way as our pioneers, as our older generation. I really see this evolution of technology as a way of life. I mean, if we compared our lives now to cavemen back then, they'd be shocked, they'd be mortified at the way we live now, minus the age of technology. So I think it's
But then back in the times, like, when we go to like cavemen, we probably go to our parents. A lot of the times, like even in school, they'll teach mental maths.
If you was to put two young people in a room, take away their phones, and just allow them to have a conversation, in my opinion, I think that there will be a struggle.
Am I the only one here with kids? Probably. As a parent, that's my job.
Yeah.
There are screens. It is my job to take the phones away. It is my job to teach them how to read a clock. It is my job to make sure that they can communicate within each other.
If you could use social media to change the world, change something about the world, what would you do? What would you use it for?
So I would do a DBS whereby a lot of young people are seen, are they in the right mental state to actually be on such a platform? Have they been through mental health issues beforehand? Is it something that would maybe ignite previous bad childhood experiences, or are they in a position where they're too vulnerable to be on such platforms? I think that's what I would do. But I don't think social media is bad. As I said, it's been a blessing, but sometimes can be a curse. But I think that's definitely needed.
Like
especially
increased
monitoring, social media, YouTube. Awesome. Yeah, I think so many deaths would probably be prevented if that was done.
For me, social media is about storytelling, being intentional, understanding the world where it's going, and then try and tell your story as part of it.
I've had some really interesting discussions. It's cool to get different views in it on from music industry, modelling and parenting. We've covered some spectrums, but I think let's keep the conversation going. Let us know, what do you think? Social media, good or bad, evil or not? Is it something that blesses your world, or is it something that actually has caused you some real hurt? And what can we do about it? We would love to hear your thoughts. Shall I do it? Peace out.